In the war against systemic fraud, accountability may finally be on the horizon. We've seen the administration's task force working tirelessly to expose schemes that have plagued taxpayers for years. And nowhere has this been more shocking than in Minnesota.
You had people within Governor Walz's office who were saying, you know what, this looks like fraud. It looks like these Somalian illegal immigrants are doing something that's very shady. And then you had people who shut them down, who shut these whistleblowers down and said, you know, you're a racist or you're a xenophobe for asking questions about where taxpayer money is going. Clearly, people weren't taking fraud seriously. Whether it rises to the level of a criminal violation, we're going to investigate it. And of course, if it does rise to that level, we're going to prosecute it. We have to.
The DOJ will now determine whether Minnesota Governor Tim Walz or the state's AG Keith Ellison will be criminally punished. But House Oversight Chairman James Comer has led the charge for justice with his committee's report on the Minnesota mayhem, and he joins me now. Chairman, thank you so much for joining us again. I just want to start by highlighting some of the key takeaways from your committee's report. You found that Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison were aware of credible and systemic fraud in Minnesota programs as early as 2019, but failed to take any action. Failures to prevent fraud resulted in an estimated $300 million in federal child nutrition funds being lost and potentially $9 billion in Medicaid-related funds lost or placed at serious risk. And concerns about litigation and accusations of discrimination, as we heard from the vice president, were cited as reasons for continuing payments to suspected fraudsters. Now, at this point, this is in the DOJ's court to address whether there will actually be criminal accountability. What do you hope comes from all of these findings?
Well, it looks to me like there was criminal behavior on the part of both Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison. And our report is based on transcribed interviews from 9 career state employees from Minnesota, most of whom were Democrats, who did the right thing. They were doing their jobs. They identified fraud multiple times. And in each instance they identified the fraud, they reported it to their superiors. They got frustrated because nothing was happening about the fraud, so they went all the way to the top. They went to both Attorney General Ellison and Governor Walz. Each time they were told to stand down by the governor and Attorney General. And the state employees were relentless. They continued to report the fraud, and Governor Walz even retaliated. And this is another crime that I think Governor Walz committed. He retaliated against the state employees who were blowing the whistle on the fraud. So I'm so happy that Vice President Vance is doing a tremendous job with his task force. They're actually prosecuting people in Minnesota that are committing fraud. Now with our report, he has referred that to the Department of Justice, and I'm very hopeful that we'll see some accountability, because if you don't hold the elected officials accountable for fraud, they will continue to commit fraud.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And I think the American people, Chairman, are probably incredibly grateful to you as well for continuing to follow up on this and not allowing it to fall through the cracks like we feel like we've basically seen time and time again. Now, of course, Governor Walz and AG Ellison have responded. Ellison calls it political theater, and a spokesman for Walz called your committee a joke. This is not surprising, of course, but what is your reaction to those two pushing back?
We gave them an opportunity to come in during a committee hearing and defend themselves. And instead of defending themselves, instead of calling out the state employees as lying, they just attacked the Republicans for having the audacity to try to do anything about fraud. The Democrat governors in these blue states, they get all this Medicaid money, which is federal money. The federal money sent to the states administer the money. And there's just this attitude among many Democrat governors that, well, it's not state money, it's federal money, so let's just keep it flowing. And if anyone tries to raise a stink about it, then mean old President Trump's liable to cut off funding. So we don't want to see that. And that's the wrong attitude to have. The Republicans on the Oversight Committee, as well as Vice President Vance, we're going to get the backs of the taxpayers. And for Waltz to call us a joke or whatever, I mean, he's the joke, and he's a disgrace to the taxpayers. So I'm very proud of the state employees that were very brave and came forward and told the truth. They did their job, and hopefully the Department of Justice will hold Governor Waltz accountable.
Well, we'll see what happens. I want to get to this. This week, you also alluded to potential consequences coming for Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She has so far denied any knowledge or connection to the fraud that we know is occurring and has occurred in her home state. Tell me what your investigation discovered about her.
Well, what we were investigating with her was it began with her financial disclosure form, because for many years she had been in Congress and she had a net worth of zero, which is fine. But then one year it jumped up somewhere between $6 and $30 million based on how the congressional financial disclosure form ranges are. We thought that was bizarre. She never would answer questions from the media as to how her net worth jumped up that much. So we started looking into it, and it revolved around two things. First of all, the Somali fraud in Minnesota started coming out, and it looked like she had requested some earmarks for some of these fraudsters that have been implicated in some of the fraud. So that was a red flag. The other thing revolves around a winery that her husband had, and it's similar to some fraud we've seen in Kentucky with some of the bourbon distilleries. If you look at wine and bourbon, it has to be aged for anywhere from 2 to 10 years. So a lot of these distilleries and wineries, they sell investors barrels of bourbon or barrels of wine, and they own that for 10 years, and then they sell it to people, the restaurants and whoever that want to put their own label on it. Well, it appears that this was a fraudulent scheme by her husband where he was selling wine, but there was no wine. There were empty barrels. And the winery has since disappeared, but that was a big part of the net worth. So we've turned over what we found to the Department of Justice. Hakeem Jeffries was raising teetotal hell with Mike Johnson about us looking into Ilhan Omar, because the House rules say only the Ethics Committee is supposed to investigate members of Congress. So we did our part. We've passed it along, and I'm confident that something is going to happen with Ilhan Omar very soon.
Well, thank you for keeping up with that as well. That's also something that people want to see accountability for if there was any issue there. Chairman Comer, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and all you're doing as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.